Video shows U.S. Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina in what turned into a heated confrontation with a voter in a store. The pair go back and forth and eventually start to exchange profanity.
When are you going to host a real town hall for the people?
Did you miss the 15 I had last year?
That wasn't the town. When are you going to host one this year?
I've already had one, and we'll have a dozen more.
The town hall you hosted this year was not a town hall. Let's be real.
It was a town hall, and I do them every year.
Every year?
You want to keep going?
Are you going to do any more this year?
Want to keep going?
Are you going to do it? I'm asking if you're going to have any more town halls this year. Any more
People
that you're
on the
going to
left
this year
are
or not?
Crazy.
So I'm on the left.
Absolutely crazy.
I'm absolutely crazy.
Get out of my face.
You're insane.
Bye.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and this might be the most unhinged, outrageous, insane, batshit meltdown between a member of Congress and a constituent in American history.
You're insane.
Bye.
You're insane. You're gonna be voted out so fast this year. I can't wait for you to go into the dirt.
By so much.
You're a disgrace to this state. That's what you are.
Lauren Boebert got kicked out of Beetlejuice for groping and vaping. Marge the Trainwreck Green got ran out of New York City like a scalded dog. But Nancy Mace went full HOA Karen on steroids right there in aisle 4, dropping F-bombs like it was her own grocery store WWE promo.
I felt threatened, I felt harassed, and I will tell you, as someone who's experienced trauma in her life, and a lot of women will understand what I'm talking about, when some guy gets in your face and approaches you in the aggressive manner that he did, and you feel like you're in danger, instinctively, as women who've been through trauma, who've survived sexual assault, survived domestic abuse, you have two options. You can fight or you can flee. And Sean, I'm a fighter.
I asked a simple question. Nancy Mace was not held in this aisle. She had to clear out of this aisle. I was at least 8 feet away from her at all times. There was no aggression. There was no harassment. Nancy Mace likes to play the victim card, but that's not what happened here. I asked a simple question as a resident of the state of South Carolina, and she couldn't answer it.
And if the founding fathers could see this circus, they'd be clawing through the dirt, trying to drag her ass out of Congress themselves. So what happened? Nasty Nancy Mace was out at a grocery store in South Carolina when a constituent, someone who actually lives there, spotted her and asked a question. That's it. A simple, respectful question. When is the next town hall? What should have been a normal, everyday interaction between a voter and their representative turned into an absolute circus. Within seconds, it escalated into raised voices, wild accusations, and a full-blown profanity-laced tirade. F-bombs flying, Nancy's egos flaring, and shoppers getting pissed. And why? Because Nancy Mace couldn't handle being questioned. The clip went viral, and suddenly, like clockwork, she ran to Fox News to clean up the mess.
Okay, but the lunatics on the left, they're dangerous, and women need to stand up for themselves. And I was the first member of Congress to say, I'm going to hold the line for women and girls everywhere. And since that time, the amount of aggression that I've had from mentally ill men, from men in dresses, from men approaching me in public like this guy, this Daisy Dukes guy, the short shorts guy, just as I was trying to buy face wash. It's not okay.
And by the way, I voted for gay marriage twice.
What does that have to do with
So
me?
I'm just saying, it has everything to do with you.
Do you think everything about me has to do with gay marriage?
I do,
That's
absolutely.
your first stance when you speak with me?
Absolutely.
Nancy Mace sees people in a single layer. She sees me and she sees the people of my community one way. She feels that we owe her something because she voted yay for gay marriage. We don't owe her anything. In fact, we'd like her to answer the questions that we actually have. When are you putting out your schedule for an actual town hall? When are you going to fight for the people of South Carolina instead of playing these theatrics like you're so good at?
There she was, pulling a full-on HOA Karen routine, pushing this laughable narrative that she was the victim, claiming she was threatened by a supposedly aggressive man, that she was triggered because of past trauma, and that this voter's calm question somehow qualified as harassment. This is probably what an HOA Karen would include in a false police report too. But let's be real, this wasn't a trauma response. This was a power trip. She wasn't cornered, she was challenged, and instead of answering, she exploded. Meanwhile, the gentleman she screamed at, he ended his interview with Laura Coates by saying he's been dealing with this kind of treatment for a long time. That's the real tragedy here. No one deserves that. And now he's getting it from his own representative in Congress. That's what makes this behavior from Mace not just unhinged, but absolutely unacceptable. Lauren Boebert got kicked out of Beetlejuice. Marge the Trainwreck Green got dog whistled out of New York City. And now Nancy Mace joins the lineup with her profanity-soaked mess in aisle 4. What do they all have in common? Weaponized victimhood, faux toughness, zero accountability. This is the new MAGA model, performative rage mixed with authoritarian cosplay. These women don't lead, they LARP. They don't answer the constituents, they attack them. They show up for clicks, not community. Mace thinks she's slicker than Boebert or Green because she throws in a few moderate sound bites or says she voted for gay marriage, as if that's her basically a permanent pass to turn around and mock queer people in public. It's all part of the grift. She wants the viral heat without ever taking any heat. She wants the brand without the burden of governing. Nancy Mace walks around like she's the belt-wearing champion of some imaginary congressional fight club. Leather jackets, sound bites, TikTok videos, and middle fingers to anyone who asks real questions. But she's not a fighter. She's a fraud. Her idea of being tough is yelling F you at a voter. Her idea of resilience is pulling out her phone and playing the HOA Karen card when someone makes her uncomfortable. If someone actually held her accountable on the House floor, she'd squall like a schoolgirl with a skin-up knee. This isn't toughness, it's theater. This isn't leadership, it's cosplay. It's bad attitude wrapped in a red, white, and blue filter. She talks about Jesus while tearing down the very people he lifted up. She rails against cancel culture while trying to publicly shame someone for wearing Daisy Dukes. She mocks trauma while claiming to be a survivor herself. What does she even stand for, other than being mad and mean at the same time? This isn't a representative. This is a walking PR stunt with a voting record that caters to billionaires, not to people of South Carolina. Eli Murray Quick showed the country what dignity looks like in the face of disgrace. He was calm, clear. He was absolutely within his rights to ask his representative a question, and Nancy Mace couldn't handle it. She saw his appearance, made assumptions about his identity, and turned the question into an attack. She projected her own defensiveness and bias onto him, then accused him of being aggressive. She pulled out her phone like a cop caller in a gated suburb and turned the grocery store into a public humiliation pit. Eli stood in truth. Mace collapsed into performance. And even after her Fox News rehabilitation tour, the video doesn't lie. She didn't defend herself, she melted down. She didn't stand her ground, she exposed how shallow her character is. She didn't protect women, she attacked a citizen. This entire episode should be a wake-up call for the people of South Carolina and for the rest of the country. This isn't just about a public outburst. It's about the kind of leaders we reward, the kind of behavior we excuse, and the consequences of letting politics be defined by trolling, temper tantrums, and trauma cosplay. Nancy Mace doesn't represent courage. She doesn't represent strength. She represents every condescending HOA Karen who uses false accusations to control public space, attack difference, and cling to power. Her record is empty. Her values are hollow. Her act is tired. And while Eli Murray Quick never got the answer to his question, he gave the rest of us something more valuable, a clear look at how utterly unfit Nancy Mace is to hold office. We deserve better. The people of South Carolina deserve better. And the next time Nancy Mace walks into a cleanup on aisle 4, she better be prepared with more than just a cell phone camera. She better be prepared for accountability. And that's the fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.